Hi, fourth graders. So today we are going to continue reading Beastly Tales. What we already know about Beastly Tales, we're talking about Yetis, Bigfoots, and the Loch Ness Monster. What we've read so far, so let me get to our pages. We've learned about these different types of animals, what people thought that maybe the Yeti looked like, or they thought it was just a gorilla. The Komodo dragon, maybe they thought that was the Loch Ness monster, and the Kraken, which we now know is just the giant squid. We learned that these might have been the creatures that they actually saw, but we do not know for sure. And we started getting into the Loch Ness monster, where it's at in Scotland, the story behind it, how people try and take pictures of it. And it's worth a lot of money if you try and take pictures of it, where it was located, the first sightings of them. This was all about the pictures. We thought that this was a flipper. But I don't know. Does it kind of look like a flipper, or does it kind of look like a piece of metal? I'm not really for sure. So we're going to continue. I want us to continue while I'm reading out loud. I want us to continue creating those predictions about what we think that's going to happen next. I also want us to think about if there are any confusing parts, and I'm going to do that too. Maybe if there's a confusing part, I'm going to go reread it and then try and figure out why that was confusing, going to the last part that I knew, where I understood what was going on, and then maybe rereading to help me figure out those confusing parts. So we are continuing to go on the Loch Ness Monster. I know we've been reading about him for a while, but we're going to keep going. The underwater photograph seems to show a flipper, but no one can be sure because the image is so grainy. It is hard to see or to take a photograph in the lake water because it is full of tiny pieces of peat or dead plant material. I did not know that. In 1987, a team of scientists searched the loch with the high-tech equipment for a project called Operation Deep Scan. A line of 19 boats, each fitted with a sonar scanner, moved up the loch. What they discovered amazed them. So let's make some predictions. I want you to pause really quick. What do you think that they discovered? So they all lined up with 19 boats with a sonar scanner so they could test the water and see if anything was moving. Kind of like if you have ever seen a boat, if they're going fishing, they have a sonar and it kind of goes around in a circle to see if it picks up any fish or any larger things. So they had a sonar. So I'm wondering, what did they discover? Take a minute and pause. What did they discover? Okay, we're going to read this and then we'll move on. Sonar scanners. A sonar scanner sends out a sound waves. The sound waves bounce back off the objects in their way, making a picture of the objects on the sonar screen. Oh, cool. So, did you make your predictions? I predict that maybe they found like a part of the loch or the Loch Ness Monster. I'm not really for sure. Maybe they have another picture of him. Some scans showed huge objects moving deep in the lake. The objects were bigger than sharks, but smaller than whales. Were they huge fish, or was it a family of Loch Ness monsters? Again, the murky water kept the scientists from knowing the answer. Oh, so they don't know if maybe it was a family of little Loch Ness monsters, or maybe it was just some fish. This diagram shows how the boats with sonar scanners moved in a line so that no part of the loch would be missed. Oh, wow. Look at, so they're all going in a line just so they can try and find him. But I wonder if he actually did that, if they actually found them. Without clear pictures, scientists must rely on people's descriptions to know what the monster looks like. It seems like the creature had a long, thin neck and a bulky body with 4 flippers and a long, powerful tail. Oh, it kind of reminds me of a dinosaur. Like one of those, I can't remember what it's called, like a stegosaurus, I think. That's what it kind of looks like. So maybe, I don't know, stegosauruses were real. Artists use eyewitness descriptions to design this model of the Loch Ness Monster. So they don't really have any pictures, but people are describing them based on, oh, I saw him and he looked like this, and oh, I saw him and he looked like that. So they don't really know, but they're guessing. No animal living today fits this description. However, one prehistoric creature does. Oh, wait. I was just talking about that. This fossil skeleton of Cryptocetus, I don't think I said that right, is twice as long as the adult person. Cryptocletus, oh, there we go, was a plesiosaur, a huge fish-eating reptile that lived in the sea. Some people think it looked like the Loch Ness Monster. However, Cryptoletus is thought to have disappeared from the Earth 70 million years ago. Could it have lived unnoticed? So maybe this is what's going on. Maybe this is what they're actually seeing, but they said to have not seen him for 70 million years. How could he still be around? Is the Loch Ness Monster a survivor from the dinosaur age, or were people who just saw it simply fooled by boats, logs, shadows, or giant eels? Could some of the sightings be a result of the practical jokes? No one knows the truth yet. Oh, from a distance, it would be easy to mistake this log for a monster. Could everyday things like this explain some of the Loch Ness Monster sightings? So maybe that people are just seeing this log. This really does look like a Loch Ness Monster. Maybe people are just playing jokes, or maybe it's actually real. Let's make some predictions about what's going to happen next. Take a minute and pause. I think that we're going to be done talking about the Loch Ness Monster because we still have Bigfoot and Yeti to talk about, and we talked about the Loch Ness Monster for like 21 pages already. So I don't know how much more we could talk about. So my guess is that maybe we're going to go into Bigfoot or another creature. So yeah, make your predictions. And if there's any confusing parts that you notice, I want you to go back and reread or re-listen to me read this out loud for you.